Hello, welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. I am Cece Shatz. I'm the Doyenne of Relationship Building, and we are on this cool show which is Date the Right One. And we've got a special treat for you today, and that is because we have a good friend of mine as a wonderful guest. But before we bring him on, we have to do our homework, and you know what that's like. We've got to do all of those things to get it done. But we want to make sure that you know that our show is sponsored by the goingsolocommunity.com, which is a transformation site for those who are traveling through the transition of divorce into dating and just really trying to establish their new single life. And then we have meettherightone.com, which is a brand new dating community. So check them out. They are our sponsors. I am affiliated with both of them. And so I hope that you'll enjoy that. If you'd like to get a hold of me, of course, all you have to do is go to goingsolonetwork at gmail.com. And you can send me an email. Of course, all of our media is right up there on goingSoloMedia.com. And of course, you can find everything on goingsolonetwork.com. So we got that over with. Let's move on to our topic tonight. We have wonderful Bruce Starr with us. Welcome, Bruce.
Hey, Cece. So good to be back with you once again. We did shows for years and years together. And now that this whole mess, whatever went on in these last couple of years, is out and behind us, and people now want to get out there again and date and meet people, and that's why we're here together again to let people know that it's a fun. The world's a fun place again, and they go out there and meet people, and I have lots of different ideas and lots of different ways they can do it.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're a real pro at it. And so that those of you that don't know Bruce Starr, and I bet you do, he's an author, a television and a radio talk show host. He's a producer. He's a professional speaker and a seminar presenter. And most people know him not as Bruce Starr, but they know him as the Love Coach. The Love Coach has been around for, well, I'm not going to say your age, but you've been around for a while. And we so love having you on because you've been on Going Solo Network as a host, and then you do some things for us. And I hope that you'll come back and do some different things with us, because now that we have this show, Date the Right One, we want to make sure that we can help people in some of those difficulties that they have in dating and trying to establish themselves. But before we talk about our subject tonight, which is opening our hearts to love, I want to make sure that you all know that these books that Bruce Starr has written are really absolutely terrific. The first one he wrote quite some time ago, it's The Body Traders, Transforming Back from Player to Lover. That's been around for a while. I think it's helped many people. And so you want to make sure that you go on Amazon.com and find that. It's called Body Traders, Transforming Back from Player to Lover. And then his new book, which we're excited about, Her Teen Love Coach. There it is, right there. Let me make it big here so everyone can see that. There you go. So that is a wonderful book. So make sure you guys check that one out, because I think that's very important to do that. And so let's get on to our subject tonight, because you're the expert, Bruce. You're the expert in opening our hearts to love. So tell us just quickly your history, because you've been around, like I said, you have been in the business as a dating expert for quite some time now, helping those through difficult relationships. And so tell us a little bit about why this became a passion for you to help people.
When you get your heart broken, like most of us did when we were 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever it is, if you get your heart broken, you either back off from being in relationship the same way ever again, or you try to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. And so when I got my heart broken, I went and just had a really, really good time. But I wanted to find out what I was doing wrong, what I did right. And I started studying relationships. I started studying from some of the great teachers in the world. Marianne Williamson is one, Course in Miracles. and Dr. Pat Allen was another one. I used to go to the church Agape Church out in Los Angeles for years. And Michael Beckwith was the reverend there, and I learned so much from him. And I took what I was learning, and I went on the internet to see if I could help people. And so over a 10-year period of time, and once I tell this to people, they don't really question me anymore. Over a 10-year period of time, I had over 6,000 detailed, intimate conversations documented with people from all around North America. And what I learned shocked me, because I thought I was there to help them, teach them whatever I could. But when I heard their stories and how similar so many of them were, and when I say similar, they got their hearts broken. And then they turned to the internet, which is a very heady place to be.
Mm-hmm.
You might think you're coming from your heart, but really when you're on the internet, it's your head that's transcribing and transforming and letting the rest of your body know what's going on. So when I wrote this book, it was a result of all those conversations. Body traders. What's a body trader? What a crazy name. When most of us get our hearts broken, if we don't heal, we choose something headier to help our relationships. And so then stereotypically, instead of looking for love and risking that, they look for the beauty in someone, the sexuality in someone, the sensuousness. And the women, stereotypically, please don't hate me, ask me all the questions you want. Stereotypically, they're looking for security. Now, it's gone from loving each other, being kind, to I'll give you what I have if you have enough of what I want. And that's like horse trading, right? That's like a horse trading thing. Well, I renamed it body trading, because that's what we're doing. We're trading our bodies for, if you have something I want, I'll give you what I have. And it's probably 90% of the people in the world who are single right now are doing that, whether they want to admit it or not. The problem is that's not going to be the place where you're going to have heartfelt relationships, dependable, warm, giving, caring relationships. And you know what, Cece? We came here to love and be loved in return. That's it. Mm-hmm. So when we go away from that, when we go for the sex, when we go for the money, we go for the drugs, we go for the alcohol, we're way off target. Deep inside, we know it. In my book, Body Traders is going to help people get back to a place where they can feel safe to love again.
Yeah, you're so right. I agree with that we kind of get in our heads. I've seen a lot of relationships, including in my life, where I think, it left from the heart and then it just got stuck in the brain, right? And then you started evaluating everything and turning things into a negative way. And so, yeah. So how do we make that shift? I mean, how are we going to make that shift into having an open heart to love?
So there's really sort of only one way. And a lot of people know it as personal growth, raising your consciousness, raising it from just the lower, what they call chakras. People out there that know, lower chakra, we have like 7 major chakras, and the lower 2 are all about sex and romance. But as we get older and mature, we have to start raising what chakras, the throat, the third eye, up here. We have to start raising our consciousness. And when we do that, we don't choose people for the wrong reasons like we did when we were younger. So it's all about trust. People think it's about trusting men. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. Women can't trust. They're so. That's not it at all. It's trusting ourselves and making better choices from feelings of love and kindness because someone's sweet and kind and giving, instead of because they're sexy, rich, powerful. When I lived out in Los Angeles, oh my goodness, on top of all the other things I just mentioned, there was being a movie producer, an agent, being able to help someone get an acting job. Oh my God, it got so complicated that I had to leave. And I knew I couldn't stay there because I knew basically I was a heartfelt person, and I couldn't stay in a place where people were just being with someone for what they can get from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that seems like it's really a selfish place to be, right?
Well, selfish is okay. It's self-centered. That's the one. Listen, selfish. They say the old thing on the airplane. You better take care of yourself if the masks come down, because then you can help everybody else. But if you don't, you're going to pass out. So being selfish, this day and age, very few people are looking out for us. We have to look out for ourselves. That doesn't mean in a negative way. That doesn't mean hurting other people. It means being selfish. I'm here for myself, and I'm here for you as long as it doesn't too costly, doesn't damage me, then I'm there for others, because that's where you connect. You connect by being kind and giving to others.
And that's why when it isn't right, I mean, I know that we want to talk about being open to love, but when we are open to love, that doesn't necessarily mean if we find that we're in a relationship that isn't going correctly for us, isn't right for us. It's also having that awareness to say, okay, this isn't the right one, but the right one is out there, and I'll continue to be on my journey to find that one. Let's talk a little bit about the self-centered, because I think that is an important issue in a lot of people when they're actually dating. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, people have to be there for themselves. In other words, if you're in an abusive relationship, someone's an alcoholic, someone's verbally abusive, someone's physically abusive, you have to be able to say to yourself, whoa, this is not healthy. This is not leading someplace that I can take to a better place. So you have to look out for yourself and have enough trust and faith that if you leave an abusive person, that there's other people out there that once you get healthier and you raise your vibration and you get into a higher consciousness and you do yoga and you just study all sorts of things that help you grow and learn. Once that happens and you work with relationship coaches like me, I've been working with people and helping people make better choices. When they make better choices, they don't have to be afraid of trusting this one, not trusting that one, because they're not in it for what they can get. And that's the big change. When I do one-on-one relationship coaching, I'm there for them every step of the way. And when they start going off course, I say, hey, wait, let's talk about this before you lose that relationship, before you say the wrong things, before you do the wrong things, because you're scared, you're feeling vulnerable. It's not easy now to be in relationships. And when people turn to the internet and swipe, I'm not so sure that's the answer for everybody. And of course, people have met on the internet. I know it. They've met. But I don't know. I'm a little bit of a dinosaur. I believe that there's ways to meet people in person, things you could do, places you can go, volunteering your time, for instance. What a great way to meet somebody. And I don't mean letting someone put you in a corner licking envelopes. No, you have to be more selfish than that.
Right.
You have to look for things that you can do where you'll meet interesting and exciting people, CEOs, presidents of companies. When they give of themselves, that's where you should be. Telethons, fundraising things, city raising things. There's so many different ways that you could meet good people. And I would let go of the old, easy way of going to clubs or bars, because I don't know, you're not going to meet people who are coming from their heart when they're drinking and numbing themselves.
Right, right, absolutely. Yeah, I like the idea of, when you're helping someone, right? You're raising your vibration just with that alone. If you're doing something for charity or whatever, and then you're mixing yourself with, we hope more quality people, because they're also in the same, they're wanting to give, and they're there for that purpose too. So you're also at the same kind of a vibration level. So I think that's very important. You got a good point there. And so, what I'm seeing a lot of, Bruce, though, is the fact that it's a transition. It's like, okay, maybe they get on the dating sites and they meet people, right? But and they date a little bit, and they're, it's working out not too bad. They're seeing each other. I don't know, maybe they started, having a physical relationship or whatever, but it's taking it to the next level, right? And you say you're committed, right? You're exclusive, right? That's the big thing about dating, is that you want to become exclusive. So you're exclusive, but that doesn't mean commitment, does it? There's a big difference between being exclusive with someone and being commitment, having that commitment. And it's taking it to that next step. And that's where I see people are having trouble with the relationship building, is they're not able to actually take it to that next level. What happens is people get frightened, right? They're fearful of whatever might have happened in their past. And then that brain starts working, and they shoot themselves in the foot because they cannot go that next level. Are you seeing that yourself?
Oh, of course. I have a pie theory. I'm going to share with you, it's in my books, a pie theory, not a pizza pie. I like to think of it as an apple pie. And when I was 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and I met you, oh my God, I offered you my whole pie. It was all there. I gave it all. There was no baggage. There was no fears. I was in love, and I was giving of myself, and I loved it. But if I got my heart broken and I felt vulnerable, there's no way I'm going to give a full pie to the next person unless I really work on myself, unless I really raise my consciousness. And I go to meditation classes, and I go to yoga classes, and I stop dating. Because I'll tell you what, you brought up a very good point about people getting to a certain point and then get scared. And here's why I believe that happens. When we have too many choices, and we think to ourselves, well, she's not perfect. She doesn't look like this movie star or that movie. She doesn't have this kind of body. And you know what? She's not good enough for me. I can always go back to start swiping again. So I strongly suggest to people that they don't get too involved with internet dating. I'm putting together ideas, speed dating evenings. I'm going to be doing, you're going to love this idea, Cece. I'm going to be doing speed dating, but not just speed dating. I'm going to match that with getting together with chefs and creating dishes. But we circle around. We spend 2 or 3 minutes with one person creating part of that dish. We move on to the next person. So it's combining. So it doesn't have the singles speed dating, which scares some people away. But I think we're going to draw a better kind of people who are aiming higher, and we're going to bring together cooking, which I love, and meeting people in the same time, and then eating the food after. Goodness gracious, what could be more fun than that? So if anyone is interested, almost anywhere in the state of Florida, and I'm going to be doing this in other places around the country, but I'd like to do these with a chef who is, say, single and who wants to expand her business. I'd like to get together with her wherever she is in the state, and put together social evenings where we prepare food together and then eat it. I think those are going to be very exciting nights.
I think that'll be very successful. And the reason I say that is because before COVID, I had a group where we would once a week get together, and it was singles, right? Both men and women, no one dating each other or whatever. We would just get together and we would cook a meal. And so we would plan out the meal, and people would all bring something or whatever the meal was. Like if you were doing an Italian meal, then some people would we would pay for it, and then someone would shop for it, or people would bring like a dessert, or they'd bring the bread or things like that, and then we would actually cook the spaghetti right there. Right, might have done the sauce a little bit earlier, but you cook the spaghetti and kind of do a little bit of the prep work there. That was extremely successful. People loved that. We had a full house every time we did that, to the point where we had to actually move it outside, and we had people inside, outside, and it was like, because we wanted to try to have as many people as we possibly could. But there's something about sharing a meal together with someone.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's why when you're dating, to go out, and I know some people don't like to spend the money for dinner or lunch or whatever, but there is something said for sharing a meal with someone. It's like you're that relaxed time, right? It's kind of, yeah. So I think you're onto something. I think this is a great idea.
If people want to do that, whether you're a chef or whether you love the idea and you want to attend those events, they can just email me very simply. Go to my website.
Yeah, let's put that up so people can do that. Here, I have it right here.
Go to my website and look that up. But you can also email me and say, Bruce, Luvcoach, put me on a mailing list, because when you do an event in my area, I want to be there. And then I might follow back and say, why don't you be the person in that area that gets people organized, even if it's 20 or 30 or 40 people? How about you work together with me in your neighborhood? People say, oh, I wish I could do it in my neighborhood. Well, this will give you a chance to be a little more assertive and help me put the event together. I'm going to be doing them in Palm Beach County, already happening. I'm looking forward to that. But hey, I could do these in other places, and I'd love to do one with you up in your neighborhood there. And I think we could do a great job.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, let's make sure everyone's got your information. It's luvcoach1@gmail.com. That's LUVCOACH 1 And then his website, make sure you go on that. It's theopenheartmovement.com. So just remember that, theopenheartmovement.com. And so sign up, like you said, sign up for your email, and so that way you get your newsletter and all that, what you're doing, different events. And you never know, if you're traveling, like in Florida or whatever, there might be something cool happening. They can join in. That would be fun. I mean, I might do it myself. So I'll definitely, well, I'm on your list anyhow already, but I'll make sure that we're still connected like that. But yeah, I would love to do something like that. I think it's a great idea. Absolutely terrific. So maybe I'll join you in your area to try it out and see how.
That'd be super.
Yeah,
you're always welcome. Whatever I do, you're always welcome.
I know, you're so sweet. You are such a sweet man. And I tell you what, this is why he's so successful in what he does, is because he does it from the heart. He wants to help people open their hearts, and that's what our show is about, opening our hearts to love. And so we have Bruce Starr, who is the love coach, the relationship coach, and we want to make sure that you all understands what he does, get on his mailing list, and really broaden your vibration so you can get to the level that you need to be. Bruce, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about this, because I think we're really hitting on something about how can we get together with individuals that are, to raise our vibration, to be able to get to the level of meeting those that are important to us. So we'll be right back, everyone. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Shatz, the Doyenne of Relationship Building, and you're listening to Date the Right One, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is Date the Right One. I am Cece Shatz, the Doyenne of Relationship Building. I'm a divorce, dating, and a life coach connecting singles through the Going Solo Network. And I'm so pleased to have my good friend here with me, Bruce Starr. Bruce Starr is just fondly known as the love coach because he has helped probably thousands of people with relationships. And so we are so thrilled to have you on the show here today. You have been, one of our hosts here on the Going Solo network, and we're just so honored to have you here with us talking about opening our hearts to love. And the first part of the show, Bruce was sharing with us about the body traders, right? And he's got a terrific book, so we want to make sure we mention his books again because he is a wonderful author. Certainly these books have really transformed individuals' lives. And the first book that he wrote, which has been out for some time, a great book, it's called The Body Traders: Transforming Back from Player to Lover. And then his brand new book, which is exciting, Her Teen Love Coach, Her Teen Love Coach. And that is truly going to be a great read. So those out there that love to read the books, definitely you want to take advantage of that. We talked before we went on the break that it's important to get on his mailing list, right? And the reason being is that he does a lot of different things. And so he has all these special events and things like that that you want to be able to take advantage of. And by meeting people, different areas, different places, it's certainly, and different arenas, right? Like not in the bars or whatever, you're meeting quality people. So get on his mailing list. All you have to do is just send him an email if you'd like. You just email lovecoach1@gmail.com. That's LUVCOACH1 and then check out his website. It's theopenheartmovement.com. Theopenheartmovement.com. So gosh, we covered a lot, didn't we, Bruce, at the first part of the show?
Absolutely. And I want to say something before we go too much further, because I heard myself saying that perhaps the internet was a poor place to meet someone. You know what? The internet is a spectacular vehicle. It really is. But where we fall down, you remember I said about the pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're younger, you have that full pie. If you get your heart broken, what are you going to offer? A quarter of a pie or a half a pie? What happens if you get your heart broken again? All you're going to be walking around with is an empty pie tin. And unfortunately, when people come to the internet, it's because they've gotten their hearts broken and they're saying, you know what? I put my hands up. I'll just meet someone on the internet. Unfortunately, the internet is great, but too many people come with an empty pie tin where they're not coming with open hearts. They're not coming with kindness in their heart. They're not coming with trust. And that's the problem. Internet is not the problem. It's when we don't come prepared. And that's why when I say one-on-one relationship coaching, what happens if you meet a terrific person and you're coming from fears and anxieties and your past? You're going to ruin it. You're going to ruin a potentially wonderful relationship with someone. So it's all about getting prepared now, calling a coach, calling Cece, getting in touch with me, and preparing yourself so that when you do meet someone, you're going to be in, your vibration is going to be up here instead of down here.
Right. I agree with that. And I also want to say and add to that, as we had talked before, it's not only preparing yourself, which is very important. I think that we do need to do that prior to dating, prior to getting out. We want to continue to work on ourselves no matter where we are in our relationship. But I also feel that a relationship coach, such as yourself, Bruce, is to even go while you're dating someone, because you get those bumps in the road, right? And then you don't know how to handle them. And then you get into your head, fears start happening. You revert back to your past. I know it. I've been down that road myself. So I mean, I know what I'm saying. And I think that sometimes we need help along the way. We need a new set of eyes, a new set of ears, and we need someone that can kind of guide us and lead us through some of those areas that we need to make adjustments in ourselves, and being able to look at a relationship with fresh eyes as we move forward. And so I think it's really, the transition is so important, as we walk um, through that, even if we feel with all best intentions, right, Bruce, of having an open heart.
Absolutely. We only know what we know,
Yeah.
and we don't know what we don't know. And I think the reason why so many people got into trouble because they either told themselves or their parents told them, marry a lawyer, marry a doctor, marry a stockbroker. But here's the problem with that. To be a successful doctor, to be a successful lawyer, to be a successful stockbroker or anything like that, you had to put 95% of your energy and your time into being the best professional you could. What does that mean that you left for relationships? A whole 5%. So that's the problem when we want to meet someone who looks like they should be the best husband or the best wife, but that's not, if we're not coming from our heart, it's not going to get us where we want to go. And that's why it's so important to, like you said, to have a coach. Because so many people say, I can't even get past the second or third date. I say the wrong things. I do the wrong things. I force sex. I just can't keep, I'm focusing on sex, or I'm focusing on, you need someone with a fresh and dynamic way to help you get past what constantly stops you and frustrates you.
Right. You're so right. I'll share with you a story that I was talking to this gentleman. He's older. He's still working. He's a doctor. He was a doctor, and many, many hours in it. And he's married, right? And they've been married for a long time, adult children and everything. And he was telling me that, I don't know, we got on the conversation of relationships, and he was telling me that he worked many, many hours and not home. And his wife was wonderful because she knew that when she married him, she signed up for a part-time partner. She knew that it was going to be a part-time partner. And I said, so that's great. So your relationship is good. And he said, no, I'm not happy. She's not happy. I'm not happy. We're not going to get a divorce. But how can we get back to, and he's getting close to retirement, and he's getting close to doing, he said, so his fear was, what is he going to do now when he is going to be there more? She's established a life for herself. How are they going to get that relationship back? And my suggestion was, you need a relationship coach. You need a coach to get you through that.
Because let's reach the younger folks now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait until you're 70
Mm-hmm.
and say, oh my God, what did I do? Oh, I did everything wrong. Don't wait until you're 60 or 70. Start now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be alone. This is a horrible sort of thing. You don't want to be alone on your deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be in loving relationships. You want to have daughters. You want to have sons. You want to have loving husbands. You want to have loving wives and relatives and family members and friends. Be that better person now. Don't wait. Don't keep putting off work. The worst thing that a father who stays in a marriage can do is not be there for his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
not be there for his son, because without that, those kids are not going to have direction. And you know what? That's why I wrote this book,
Mm-hmm.
Teen Love Coach. I changed the title, Teen Love Coach, because do you know how many families now are in divorce? I heard like 50%. And you know what happens when a family has one parent? That one parent is working their butts off to pay the bills. What does that mean for that child? That child is alone. You see that alone child right there?
Mm-hmm.
That child is alone, doesn't know where to get coaching, doesn't know where to get advice and counsel. In my book here, she found a mystical character that led her through her teenage years from 13 to 18 and helped her and answered every question that she had about relationships. This is going to be in school libraries eventually. This is going to be, this is a real winner of a book, because there are no books out there for teenage girls who are lost. And it's for boys too, because you'll learn what a girl is going through. And right now I'm in the middle of writing one for not boys, but for young adult men, to help them do the right thing before they close off their hearts to love.
Right. Well, this is very important. I think too, the younger, it seems like the younger, people, well, I don't call them children, because the young adults, okay, they do things a little bit differently than I think that we did. We tended, where we dated in high school, we did things like that. They tend to do things in groups, and so then when they want to start, dating, it's like, oh, they don't have their security blanket, because they don't have their group there with them, and so then they don't know how to handle themselves or what to do. And so, yeah, I think a book like that would definitely help them to be able to understand relationship and relationship building, because I think that's what is one of the things that's missing as we move forward in our life, is building those kind of relationships. So, yeah, you're doing great work.
Thank you.
Sir, you're doing great work.
Thank you. It's amazing. We talked about this before the show, but I did write a book that was published an ebook a decade ago, but I rewrote that over and over and over again to the point of perfection. This book, to the point of perfection. I've literally published my life dream. I published 2 books within 1 week on Amazon. And if you want to find those books, please buy them. If not for yourself, for your son, for your daughter, for your friends who has a daughter or a son, you can go to Amazon.com, click on books, and just type in Bruce Starr, and you'll find my books. Please buy them. Now, buy them so that we can start helping young girls and young boys everywhere who don't have any coaching, don't have any parental guidance right now.
Yeah, I think you're so right. It's very important. And so they make great gifts, so if you've got a friend or something, if you have a friend that you think are struggling, with dating, the Body Traders Transforming Back from Player to Lover, that's a great gift to give someone. And then any young adult, her teen Luvcoach is a fabulous book. And like you said, that's going to be hitting. We hope the schools are giving a little bit more education in relationship building, because our young people today are so vital to us to be able to be, whole from within. And relationships are important. That's what makes it work, So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Relationships are everything. And that's why I've been on this relentless, tireless pathway to learn as much as I could about it. Because believe me, I still have confusion, and I still don't, understand tons and why I do things, why I did do things. But I will say this, 24 years ago, I took what I learned. This is very important, because people say, is he married, or is he just, talking about this stuff? 24 years ago, I met my wife, Lauren. We've been together 24 years, and I took what I learned from all those people, all those teachers, and I integrated it into my own life. And I've been together with the same woman for 24 years now. And we have a beautiful 18-year-old daughter. So it really, and a dog, a great dog. So it really is a bit of a success story.
Yeah, it's great to hear. I know your wife, and she's a beautiful person.
You said to say hello.
Yeah, she's great. Well, everyone, please get on his mailing list. Go to Luvcoach1@gmail.com. It's LUVCOACH 1@gmail.com. And then his website is theopenheartmovement.com, theopenheartmovement.com. And I think you've got some great ideas. I mean, they're just churning. You always have some great ideas on how people can meet each other, how they can make that transition, from dating to really building a solid relationship. And so, yeah, I'm right behind you and supporting you all that we can here on the Going Solo Network, for sure.
Thank you, Cece.
Your books, Body Traders Transforming Back from Player to Lover, and her teen coach, Love Coach. I'm sorry, Her Teen Love Coach, and that's on Amazon.com. Just go and buy the book, buy it for yourself, give it away as a gift. I think there's nothing better that you can do when you buy a book. You buy a good book, you read it yourself, you absorb it, and then you keep it and go buy another one and give it to someone.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
can reread it when you need it, right?
Just today, I met a girl at school, and she was saying they moved me from one school to another, and all my friends are at the other school, and here I am, and I literally had to teach her stuff that I was writing in this book, saying, listen, you could just smile at people, because she's all uptight and she's not meeting anybody. I said, listen, if you get all uptight and you don't smile, people are going to think you're a snob, that you are not interested in them. Smile at them. And these are the kinds of simple things that I teach in the Teen Love Coach book that will help kids forever.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, you're a great guy, and anything we can do to help support you, we certainly want to. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Are there any last words you'd like to share with our audience?
I just appreciate you and all the things that we've done together, and I'm ready to get this information out. And if you want to talk to me about doing a show again, I'm ready to do that, because I have so much to share and so much information and events and all this kind of great stuff. So I just thank you for all the work that you're doing.
That was great. Well, we'll take you back anytime you want to be on. You can be on. You're by yourself or with us anytime. So for sure, we would love to have you. So thank you, Bruce. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, his email is lovecoach1@gmail.com. That's LUVCOACH1@gmail.com. And then the website is theopenheartmovement.com. Make sure you check that out. His books again are Body Traders, Transforming Back from Player to Lover, and Her Teen Love Coach. So those are great books. We want to definitely check them out on Amazon.com. Well, we're going to have to run. It is so great, having you here with us today. We are so appreciative of all that you do, and it's just an honor, Bruce, to have you with us.
Thank you, Cece. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys remember that we are sponsored here by goingsolocommunity.com and meettheright1.com. Check them out. You want to make sure if you need a connection with other people, they're a great community sites for you. You guys know how you can get a hold of me. If you don't, I'm going to tell you. You can get a hold of me at goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. All of our media information is right on goingsolomedia.com. And then, of course, you can connect with all our singles on the goingsolonetwork.com. You will probably see Bruce there and us doing some sort of event, because I think we're ready now. We're out of COVID. I know it's still hanging, because I've experienced it myself recently, but all good, and we're moving forward, and we need to start changing lives, right? Connecting and changing lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys are listening to Date the Right One on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are the #1 internet singles talk network, and we want to thank you for listening to us, because you are the ones that make us the #1 station. So thank you very much. So Bruce Starr and I are signing out for now. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.